So I did pull the valves out, and what I've discovered is the seating surface is pitted, but not too bad, but it's rather wide. This here is the exhaust valve. Now normally I don't ride on them, but just because it could be a while, I just did. That is blackened, pitted to shite, and fairly wide, that sealing surface. So I will get that looking good. Pop that out so I can pop it up. So the exhaust valve nearly burnt because the tolerances are, like down here, are non-existent. In a nutshell. Now you can see it's not real clean, but whoops, focus you. The inlet valve tolerance is so wide, that sealing surface, that it LED lights fuck with the camera, eh? And this is fairly wide here too, like this angle is wrong, but it really wants a new pair of new valve seats. And I wouldn't go fancy with a triple lip valve, but something better than what it's got. Yeah, probably a good, I'm not sure, 45 degree. 45? Yeah. So, and again, when I was playing around in here, when I had the spring on, there's a little bit of tolerance there in the inlet, but it is marginal. You'd be lucky if it's a thou. And the exhaust was nearly rotting, so its days were numbered. So yeah, and it's had a hard life. Someone's been in here before and cocked all this edge up. There's a hard lip. This edge has been rolled down. So yeah, I've checked my gasket set that's on its way. It's got this gasket, that gasket, which is the one that's leaking. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about these bolts. I'm suspecting some Loctite, and probably with the new gasket they won't leak. I have a new piston coming. This one, LED lights, I tell you what, they fuck with the camera. This one's actually not too bad. It's got some play. Ignore my thumb, that's my thumb rolling around on the skin, but I don't know if you can see that. You can see the lubie juice moving down the side of the rings there. Not at all concerned really about that if I had to use that piston again, because without knowing the specs, I've ordered a standard kit, assuming that this is not oversized. I've also get a standard connecting rod with it, so we get to do that. So yeah, and I'm going to order some tools, the proper valve spring compressors for doing these small engines, because it's just too hard getting the springs in and out, especially the exhaust side, because it's bloody a fairly heavy duty spring, and trying to get the retainers in. So yeah, it's got a head gasket coming. Like I said, she burned a fair bit of oil. It used to put the spark out, so yeah. So yes, and I can't find my little suction cup to that. So obviously, as I take material off of that and grind it with some lapping paste, which I know where the paste is because the paste is here. Oh, fuck. Can't see it. Maybe it's not here. Maybe it's fallen down or been borrowed. So as I take more meat off of these faces again, on both sides, this tolerance here is going to get tighter. So, yeah. So I will have to pull the flywheel off because I have a seal for that side. And it needs another bath because all this side here is all caked up with shit still. It really pays to get the air compressor and clean your engines out because this is the bottom side and all the crap goes down in here and then they don't get any airflow and then they actually run hot and they just prematurely wear. So yeah, it is what it is. The valve guides actually aren't worn all that bad. I thought that maybe they'd be pretty knackered, but you can pull this up and there's a little bit of movement in there. But for a stationary engine, they'll be fine. Like, it's flat out at 3,000 revs. So, yeah. It's like I said, there's a little bit of wear in the guides. But it is what it is. This engine, if you look at the date on here, you can correspond the date. I can never remember which number it is. That's the model, type, code. Yeah. I have to do my research again because I cannot for the life of me remember. But yeah, take either those. It's not 09, there's no fucking way. Or it's this one. Some numbers you take off of here, and that'll give you the year that it was produced. But that's only a quick Google search to work that out. So this is the model code, and the code that I ordered is, this is like 500 engines different. So it's, the code runs before this is like 190000, and this is like 19,100 or 119,000, whatever. How many? Yeah, whatever the fucking number is. Anyway, and then it ends like in this one being a 2 or a 3, and a bunch of zeros. So it's right bang in the fucking middle. So yeah. But somehow out of here, I wish I could remember. I used to know, when I did this all the time, I used to know off by heart which numbers to take to get the year of manufacture of the engine itself. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is, like, it's cast iron bore, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the early 80s, late 70s. It's off of a Colt 8. So it's a fairly old mower, and you can see this cover's been through hell. All the tabs have been broken off at some point, repaired. So yeah, tis what it is. It will do the job. The other problem it had is a recoil itself would recoil works, but the clutch, oh there you go, now it's working. There's ball bearings in there that lock that in, and if you got too much oil in there, and I found this to be oily as, because it's a little wick in there, a little felt thing to lubricate this shaft here, because there's a blind shaft on the end of it, and that there, when you take these screws out, you can lift this cover off. You'll see 4 or 5 ball bearings in there, depending on how many locator tabs to grab hold of, and they lock in like that. So these bottom ones will be top ones will be locked in, and as the engine starts, centrifugal force takes them to the outside, and if it's really oily or greasy in there, that's where they stay. They don't fall back into the centre when it's stopped. So this freewheel's in the start direction, which is this way, and so you pull the cord and this just spins. So yeah, like that. All I did is just get that in a spot where it doesn't want to play ball. And there we go, got one of them locked in again. So yeah, that was the other thing. It was a pain in the ass. Sometimes you can get in between here with a not a chisel but a drift, and just knock this shaft, and that'll resonate through there obviously and knock the ball bearings off the side, and you'll get it to start again. We'll get it to drive. Yeah. And I'm assuming that this is old enough to be old enough, young enough to be a pointless distributor or pointless system, so I'll pull this off and find out. Either way, spark was not the issue. The issue was the burning of the oil and the leaking of the oil, which I think killed it because I think they ran it out of oil. And then, yeah, once they ran out of oil once, that took whatever life the rings had left in them and said bye, Felicia. So yeah, which gives us, oh, I thought I could be quicker than that. Aha, gotcha. Which gear brings us to where we are now, putting hopefully a piston, rings. That bore is got a few horizontal scratches in it. I have no fucking idea where my hone is. It's been borrowed and hasn't came back, so not even sure if I order myself another hone or not, and give it a gentle hone to get some radial marks back in there for oil control purposes. So yeah, that's where we're at. I might even pressure wash it again now that I've got my pressure washer going. Every engine has carbon, but this is ridiculous. Like I said, you'd swear it was two-stroke, the amount of oil it was burning. So yeah, the inlet is not even that clean either, because it recirculates crankcase gases through here, as well as lubricates these lifters. Where'd that go? Through this pipe here, you'll see this on 99% of your engines. Hondas have it right at the top. And then that goes into that side of the carby, which is your fresh air side, because it's supposed to suck, not really blow. It kind of does a bit of both, but it's supposed to pull fresh air into the crankcase. They don't really have a positive crankcase vacuum, but yeah. Anyway, what happens though when they start getting lots of bypass the rings, and pressure comes out through here, takes oil vapor with it, shoves it in through there, shoves it in through there. I mean, look how oily this intake is. That should be whistle clean, but it's not. So yeah, there you have it.